Good morning.
Good morning.
It's been one of them days. Um, so the video that you guys already got to watch in the Crockers, geez Louise, talk about pain in the butt. I started uploading it around 8 p.m. at night, and then it took literally forever to do it till the next morning around noonish. And then I was like, let me watch this before it goes live. None of the music was in it. For whatever reason, it was a bad save of the video, so I had to redo it and all stuff. But things could always be worse. And I don't know, it's one of those things that's annoying, but I know how bad I want YouTube to work, and I know how bad I want just everything to go smooth. And I guess it kind of got me thinking of, I know a lot of people that would just give up. They would have just been like, screw it, don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when it's like a frustrating situation like that, where you spent so much time trying to get it uploaded and then it didn't even work.
Yeah, and so, I don't know, it's just one of those things, but it kind of just put us on the topic of outgrowing people. Sometimes you outgrow people, and I'm hopefully this will reach at least one of y'all watching. I think this happens multiple times in your life, and sometimes you go through this point in life where you feel like you're just by yourself. You feel lonely. You feel like, you know, you're just like, man, my friends suck, or like no one gets me. No one gets where, I had this buddy, I won't say names or anything, but he's starting a business on his own, and he's doing all this stuff, and I think he gets it. You outgrow people. There's people that you may hang out with for a while, and it's great and it's fun and all that stuff, but you realize like, hey, there's more to life. I want more out of this, and your friends are cool with
coasting.
Yeah, pretty much, and you outgrow people, and so I found this article on online because I started thinking about it, and basically I got some points written out right here, and hopefully this guy's will reach some of you guys. It definitely applies to me as well, but I guess the first sign of outgrowing people is being awakened to the truth, and it's basically you start to realize, maybe my values aren't the same as theirs. Maybe my goals aren't the same as theirs anymore and stuff like that. You start to really realize it, and it's happened in my life.
It's definitely happened in my life.
Yeah, and so it's not bad by any means. It just happens, and if it doesn't happen and you're not outgrowing your friends, there's two reasons why. Your friends are freaking awesome, and y'all are always going up, or you're being stagnant with your friends. You're really not trying to better yourself, and if that's the way you want to live your life, that's fine, but definitely not the way I try to live my life. That's kind of the second point. It says some people don't want to grow, and they like to stay stagnant and comfortable. I know a lot of people like that, and
well, a lot of people are too afraid to take risks because
yes,
they're afraid of failure, or it's too hard or too much work. And in reality, it's like you're never going to get anywhere if you don't try.
you got to risk it for the biscuit.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, and I've had times where I was gonna do something, back when I was trying to get into video work or whatever. Jared and my friends were just like, dude, you're wasting your time. You're sitting here making this video that the band doesn't even know you exist. And I'm like, yeah, but what if I spend this much time and I put this video out, and what if they see it? What if, whatever? And they're just like, dude, you're wasting your time. And I spent 40 hours on this video, and I only got halfway through, and I was like, screw it, I've already done this much, I'm gonna send it to them. And boom, they watched it. Next thing I know, I was working with them for the next few years, and of course my friends and Jared and stuff were like, hey, can you get me in that concert? And so I don't know, I ain't bashing Jared or my friends or nothing like that, but not everyone can see your vision, and if you have a vision, you have a goal, go for it. There's stuff that Jared does, and I'm like, yeah, that's stupid, but then he'll do it. There's stuff that Jaylena wanting to be in a van, I'm sure some people are like, "You're crazy," but that they can't see your vision.
Well, I mean, I have, family and friends, more so family, that are probably just concerned for my well being. That, every every time like we bring up the conversation of like YouTube and stuff, it's like, oh well, you should go to nursing school and be a nurse. You need an education and blah blah blah. And it's like every single person that I went to high school with who went to college and got some type of degree don't use that degree.
Mm-mm.
And the last thing I want to do, I have a lot of respect, nothing but respect for nurses. I could just never be one.
Yeah.
I faint at the sight of blood. Of course, I'm never going to be a nurse. I hate needles. It's just, my mom and my sister pressure me about going to school or becoming a nurse, and it's like that's the last thing that I want to do. I have dreams that I'm going to follow, and they think I'm absolutely insane for wanting to live in a van and do YouTube. And
But they just don't understand that side of it, you know.
well, I'm a dreamer. My mom gets it a little more than my sister does, but my sister is very, I guess, what would you call it, practical? I don't know.
Yeah.
But she's more like level-headed and more of like the straight and narrow type of lifestyle.
This is what everyone does.
Yeah. And I'm
And
definitely
there's nothing
the
wrong with
opposite.
that. Yeah, it's just not everyone sees it, and that to me that straight and narrow is more of like it's comfortable. Everyone does it. There's already the path. You're already walking in this field of grass, but there's a path already made. And I'm like, but if I went this way, where does this go? And they're like, no, there's no path. And I'm like, I'm gonna make my own. And so I try to get out of my comfort zone. But
Well, like my best friend Jessica, who I'm about to go on my trip with, she lives a pretty normal life. She's got a nice apartment in Dallas, works a corporate job, and makes good money. She went to college and she's not using that degree, but she's doing great in life, and she's definitely a little bit, living a little bit of a different lifestyle than I am, but she likes what I'm doing, but she would never do it herself, and
well,
that's fine.
it's not funny. But the funny thing is she has the good job. But right now, with the way the world's going,
Oh, she's been furloughed, and she's not going to be going back to work for at least another month or two.
yeah. So it doesn't matter how comfortable your life is. Stuff can still happen, and that's where this next one comes in. Is listen carefully. Shift happens, not happens. Shift, and sometimes you're going this way, and it just goes, and you have to go this way, and you have to just go with the flow. And I've learned that, like out here, doing stuff on the build or whatever, this was going to be a bathroom, but now once it starts going, you're like, you know what? Hey, that's more of a room. I could go to the bathroom outside in my little area that I've done. It's not a big thing, but you would think, okay, normal, comfortable life is you need the bathroom inside, you need this and that. But when it kind of just shifted, you go with the flow. And, it's going to be the same thing with, like, her van. She's going to go on a trip or whatever. The trip's probably not going to go exactly how you want it to go.
I don't have any expectations, because when you have expectations, most of the time, like you said, it doesn't go how you plan it to
Yeah.
go. So
Yeah, so you have to just kind of go with the flow and expect it to shift every now and again. You know, I don't think a lot of these great things that we have, electricity, light, stuff like that, all this technology, we wouldn't have it if people stuck to a path. They had to like branch out and try something crazy and do this and that. And you're only crazy if it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So just go with the flow and you'll figure it out and stuff. But the second to the last thing on it is let go and move on. Things you used to do together no longer entertain you, or there's more tension than before. So this is kind of just, you're outgrowing the people, maybe it's you used to like going to the bar all the time, and now you're like, man, I'd rather spend my spare time, educating myself on homesteading or going off grid or whatever, that type of thing. Like for me, all my friends back in the day would be like, let's go to the bar, and I'd be like, I'd rather stay here and learn how to do video work. And I would just sit on my computer and watch Netflix, YouTube, and learn how to use a camera and stuff while my friends went out. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I had a different path, and those things just didn't entertain me as much. And then as of recently, I don't know. It's just there's certain people that I guess I don't hang out with anymore. I don't do anything like that. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I think our paths are on different. We're on different paths, and some of the ideas of certain things don't entertain me anymore. So I kind of just do my own thing and hang out with people that kind of have the same path, I guess, goals. I don't
Yeah.
know.
In my early 20s, I had a ton of friends. I was going out to the bar all the time, and then it just got to a point or I got to a point in my life where I just wasn't interested in going out and partying every day, and I started focusing more on like my health and fitness, and I was probably in the best shape of my life. And at the time, I was actually in a relationship, and that is one of the things I feel like it was a shift to where it was like, okay, I'm no longer on that path. I'm not 21 years old anymore. I'm getting older. I want to do other things, and the person was not on the same path, and we wound up, going our separate ways. And that went for that relationship, and also a lot of friends that I had at the time who were still doing those things, and it just wasn't something I was interested in, and definitely shifted, and my life kind of took a different went a different course, I guess.
Yeah.
Then I met Jason, and all hell
Well,
broke loose.
yeah, that was the course it went on, and here you are. But yeah, the last thing, it's not. This isn't really. It's not letting you know that you've outgrown people or whatever. It's just you're meant to live your life to the fullest. And if you're holding back because you want to hang out with certain people, you're not living life to the fullest. And if these people don't want to support you living your life to the fullest or they don't want to get part of it, then at that point is when you let go, you move on, you let that shift happen, you find your own path, you do this, and it was meant to be. There are very few people that are friends from very early age the rest of their life. It happens, but a lot of times those people are on the same path. And I have friends that, I knew, from, pre-K in school, but we're on different paths. We're still friends, it's just we're on different paths. And I want to live life to the fullest, and my buddy likes more of the city life back in Texas. I like more of the off-grid, roughing it type thing. We live two different lifestyles where I don't have AC. My friend needs AC towards blasting 60 degrees. So we still like each other's friends and stuff, but we've kind of outgrown each other as far as, I guess, what we like to do on our daily,
What?
day.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, you got to live life to the fullest. And if you're going to outgrow someone and you're scared to lose that friendship, don't worry about it because it just kind of is what it is. They should understand. It's like, my friend back in Texas, I can hit him up right now and be like, hey man, I'm coming to Texas. You want to hang out? And he'd be like, yeah. It's not that we outgrew each other forever. It's just we outgrew our living, situations and stuff, different ways, we want to live and whatnot, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's some people that you just figure out like, hey, yeah, I'm just better off not having you in my life at all. And that kind of just happens, as well. That could be, a relationship, family, friends. Jaylene said it many times in the past, but blood doesn't always make you family. Some of your best family could be friends. And we've learned a lot of family is like some of you guys. So you know, another thing too is, I'll get comments on videos and they'll be like, I'm gonna unfollow you because you're not what you used to be and stuff. Well, then I outgrew you. You want the channel to stay the same, but I want it to evolve. I've outgrown you as a viewer, and I know that sounds bad, but it's the truth. Is I want the channel to evolve, 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 and I want to try to do the best I can. And if you want me to stick to the same plan every day and not do anything and be the same old Jason from yesterday, I'm gonna outgrow you. That's just the way it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's brutal to say, but it's just the truth. I'm not here to settle, I guess.
Yeah, it's like my relationship with Jessica, and I talk about her a lot. She's my very best friend, but we've known each other since we were 12 and 13 years old, and we haven't that friendship has not been consistent. There were times where we went years without talking or seeing each other because we weren't friends anymore. But we've both come through, I guess, like our own trials and seasons, and we've changed and we've grown, and like now we're closer, I feel like, than we ever have been as adults. We were super close in middle school, but I mean, we were just kids. And that, so kind of growing up, we've always had the same group of friends, but growing up and changing and evolving between the two of us, we've kind of come back together over the last few years and have gotten closer, and our relationship is stronger. So sometimes you do outgrow people or situations, but you can always find your way back to them, and you could both be completely different people and still be friends again. So it's just a matter of really putting yourself first, in the sense of you have to live your life to the fullest, even if that means letting go of certain people, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be gone forever.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just something kind of, was thinking on and stuff. And, a lot of these coffee crockers, some of them are just like normal, whatever videos. And then sometimes I kind of just get this, like, hey, talk about this type of thing, and hopefully that was put in my head to help some of you guys. I know there's a lot of people that always comment, they're like, and I'm not saying this, but they'll be like, yeah, I really want to do this, but my husband doesn't want to, or my wife doesn't want to do this. I'm not saying outgrow your husband or wife. I'm just saying maybe you outgrew them a long time ago, but you didn't, you know, take that step of like going on your own. I again am not saying to get a divorce or nothing. It's not what I'm going for, but it's just a lot of comments that we get, and sometimes you outgrow people, but you still can be friends and together, and pretty much that's what a marriage is being friends and stuff. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that tons of comments. On my 7 month time lapse, whatever, it's been getting a lot of views and a lot of comments, and a lot of people are like, "Man, I'd really love to do that, but," and then they leave an excuse. And normally it's they don't want to go out on their own and do it. Reality is you outgrew whoever it was you're hanging out with, and you're scared to like leave them to go do what you're doing that you want to do. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, someone out there gets something out of this, and they realize, hey, if you outgrow someone, it's not a big deal. Life happens, and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I'm in a group, like a girl van life group on Facebook, and someone had posted yesterday saying that she just bought a van. She's planning to travel and for months at a time, and she's currently in a relationship, and she has been with this person for a while, but they're not interested whatsoever, and they just keep dogging her dream and saying like, yeah, I don't know, like maybe a week at a time is more realistic. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and they just don't believe in her, and they're on two different paths is what she basically said, and that they're on the verge of breaking up and she doesn't know what to do. And I commented and I told her that she should stick to her plan, because she said no matter what she's going to go. Then go. It's like if you don't, I commented and said if you don't do it, you're going to resent him and you're going to ruin the relation, or the relationship is going to be done
Either way, so you might as well go.
So I was like, if it's meant to be, in the end it'll be.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
But it's like, go do your thing. I was like, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 28, and I wish I would have done it a long time ago. Yeah. And so it's like, if something's meant to be, it will be. But if you're on two different paths with someone, whether it be friends, family, or your significant other, sometimes you have to go your separate ways. And it just is what it is.
Yeah, it's just life. You can't force anything. And again, you need to live your life to the fullest. And I think once you do that, that's when you're at your true happy stage. And then when you're truly happy and you figure out all that stuff, nothing else really matters. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just one of those where it's just like, if you're happy, you're happy. And sometimes you're happy with a group of people, and sometimes you're happy by yourself. Just that shift, if it happens, just run with it, go with the flow. Sometimes you were meant to get bumped off the trail to create your own, to me, like, I've never really heard of a cool story someone's telling me, and it was just like, yeah, so everybody was doing this. It's always like, man, I took this risk, I tried this. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we could probably talk about this all day, but yeah, if you think you're outgrowing people, you probably are. That's the first sign, is you're starting to get those thoughts. So if that's you, don't worry about it. Go for it. And if you are into the more comfortable life, do the more comfortable life. There's nothing wrong with that.
Just do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, pretty much. But all right, guys, we're going to call it on this video. Hopefully, you guys have an awesome day. And yeah, I guess I don't want to say leave down in the comments if you've outgrown anybody, because that's kind of weird. But maybe if you are kind of going through that and you do comment down below, maybe it'll encourage other people to kind of speak up and start thinking about it. So don't be scared to comment down below and kind of tell your story, because I know there's probably a bunch of you guys that have dealt with that are going through it now. So yeah, I guess we'll catch you on the next one.